This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news, the Minister of Tourism is predicting a prosperous 2015 for Grand Bahama Island. Megan Shepherd reports tonight that the wheels are in motion to do just that.
Minister for Tourism, the Honorable Obi Wilshcombe, predicting a prosperous 2015 for the island of Grand Bahama, as major plans are underway to highlight the island and what it has to offer. Minister Wilshcombe says his ministry is working diligently to intensify the promotional campaign for Grand Bahama through various mediums.
We have some ads being shot now for Grand Bahama. Grand Bahama will have its own phase of marketing. For the first time, I think in about 10 years, we'll be involved in a number of pieces of marketing, whether it's newspaper, radio, television, billboards, all that to get business to Grand Bahama. And of course, there are a number of mega events scheduled for Grand Bahama next year as well, all intended to cause for greater occupancy levels on the island. And of course, we need more inventory.
Now, it was early November when the Bahama celebration had to be pulled out of service after it struck an object while departing Grand Bahama. Minister Wilshcombe says while the loss has hurt the island, he is pleased to announce that 2 new ships are expected to begin service as early as this month.
I feel very good about Grand Bahama in 2015. In fact, I'm predicting that next year is going to be the year of total recovery in tourism in the Bahamas, based on all the things that we've been working on, and the full manifestation of it all begins as early as January. So Grand Bahama is very much in it, and we feel very good about Grand Bahama. We'll have a replacement for the celebration, a new vessel that will start December 22nd.
Minister Wilshcombe also shedding light on the process of selecting an operator for the island's sole casino. He says many operators are showing interest in the casino, but it is essential that they choose an operator that will take it to the next level.
We have a new operator, you know. The truth is we just have not moved on it because the present operator has been there and has served us whilst we were doing nothing really. The truth is we have a new operator in Sunwing that's over at Memories. We're discussing with Sunwing and others some new opportunities. The truth is there's a major company that's seeking to come into Grand Bahama, and we're looking at them right now. They're meeting scheduled for next week, and we'll see how it goes. But there is a tremendous amount of interest in Grand Bahama for a casino operator.
Megan Shepherd, ZNS Network News.
While the Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pindling, arrived at the Rand Memorial Hospital to a royal welcome. Scores of students from schools throughout Grand Bahama braved the inclement weather, all in the name of national pride. Now we will have a full report on the Governor General's visit in tomorrow's newscast. And members of the East End community came out to the McLeanstown Ferry Dock today to witness history. Our Kimberly Mullings was there for the official opening of the McLeanstown Police Substation.
Situated right on the beautiful shore near the McLeanstown Clinic, the McLeanstown Police Substation opened its doors to the public with 5 resident police officers. The Minister of National Security, Dr. Bernard Nottage, attended the opening ceremony today and says he's excited that the station was finally built for the community. As soon as resources and officers become more available, the intent is to outfit all communities with stations as necessary or expand the existing ones.
I think that every community in our country needs policing in a way that is a preventative measure so that people can live in peace and harmony with each other to the extent that it's possible.
Nottage went on to say that he finds this particular police station not only beneficial for the McLeanstown area, but also to the northern Bahamas.
Because of the connection with Abaco and because of the criminal activity that's connected to the waters, you know, the smuggling of drugs and guns, the smuggling of human beings, the trafficking in persons. You know, these islands in the northern part of the country do have a problem. And so we're going to the extent that we're able to provide, for example, a boat to do some patrols in this area, we're looking at that in conjunction with the Ministry of Grand Bahama.
Commissioner of Police Alison Greenslade, in agreement with the minister, added that there is a significant importance for this substation in McLeanstown, not for the sake of crime, which isn't an issue in the area, but because the settlement is developing and police presence makes all the difference.
Police officers are in this community finally, for the first time in the history of our force, to work in tandem with the communities of East Grand Bahama to launch what we refer to as our community policing initiatives. That is to be one and the same with the people, to encourage the communities to join hands and hearts with law enforcement to keep their very own communities safe. And I'm very, very pleased that we've got to this very significant point today.
Father Stephen Davies blessed the building and the officers, and the ribbon cutting was done by the minister and a senior resident of McLeanstown. Also in attendance was MP for East Grand Bahama Peter Turnquest and Senator Tanisha Tynes. Kimberly Mullings, ZNS Network News.
Thanks, Kimberly. Well, 5 foreign nationals arrested for poaching off Great Isaacs Bimini over the weekend. The men were hauled before the magistrate's court to face charges of illegal diving and poaching on Monday morning. According to Assistant Fisheries Superintendent Clement Campbell, investigations led the Fisheries Department and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force to the area where they observed several small boats.
Information and intelligence that been collected over the past month. I went with the Defense Force earlier this morning in pursuit to the location where the information had led us to, which be the Isaacs, Little Isaacs and Great Isaacs in the general Bimini area. And upon approaching Little Isaacs, we saw a small Boston whaler with a fisherman in it. Then we saw another one. Then we saw another one. So the first one we approached, the diver came up and he looks at one person of foreign national. So we asked him to produce his compressor permit. He didn't have one. So we took him on the boat with us and we went to the parent boat, which was Jose Cristo, which had 11 dinghies out there diving, right? And we continued that general area for about 2 hours, and we have retrieved 5 persons snorkeling in the water of foreign nationals without proper documents.
Now, he says for years, fishermen have complained about Dominicans and Hondurans poaching in Bahamian waters.
This is just depleting it at a rapid pace because the Hondurans and the Dominicans, they have a different method. They go down and they knock the conch out to the bottom of the sea, like 100 conch or 50 or whatever the numbers are, and bring the conch up in a bag and leave all the shells right there. And we have seen the pile of shells by Ocean Key, and we saw a couple of piles by Cat Key and some by Orange Key in the last couple of trips we went out there. But the message what I would like to get out there to all these Dominicans and Hondurans, don't come in the northern Bahamas between Orange Key, Cat Key, Ocean Key, and the Isaacs, or McNella Bank, or Memory Rock, and expect to be diving in the water over here, because we're going to get you. Between me and the Defense Force, together as a combination, we're going to get you all.
Well, a man is dead following a traffic mishap over on the island of Abaco early yesterday morning. According to police reports, shortly before 4 a.m., officers at the Marsh Harbor Police Station were called to the scene of a traffic accident that occurred some distance from the Blackwood settlement. Upon arrival at the crash site, officers discovered a white Mitsubishi van with extensive damage some 25 feet off the road in bushes, and the body of an unidentified black male was found near the vehicle. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Investigations into this matter are continuing. Stay with us, there's more news right after this.
Happy holidays from all of us here at the ZNS Network.
Welcome back. Hundreds of students recently headed to the polls at St. George's High School to select a new slate of local government junior counselors. Italia Hall has the details.
Students at St. George's High School were exposed to the local government process. The process is put in place for students to help with addressing the challenges and issues in their schools and throughout the community. 9 students were elected to be a part of the local government junior council and were introduced to the student body yesterday. Coordinators say they have high expectations for students.
I would expect that they would speak in dialogue among each other as they carry out various duties within their junior council, and that is to supply and to furnish the request of their voters, and that is the persons here at St. George's High, to better their school environment, whether it be through items that are needed, or whether if it's upgrading their facility. But at the end of the day, the concern should be one that addresses the needs of the students who are their voters.
The local government junior council process is one that they will enable to improve the school community. All of them in their speeches knew exactly what the school needs, what needs to happen, and I believe that they are most ready to do what it takes to improve the environment around here at the school for the betterment of the students.
The students were elated to have been chosen and provided positive advice for others.
We want to tell them, especially the men, to just stop the negativity, to get and be positive. You know, oftentimes we look about girlfriend and boyfriend and all the other negativity and the sexual and all these other types of stuff. We want to just stop it. We want to tell them to focus on education. In this economy, it is poor. We're going into a depression. We just need to stop whatever we're doing and just get active and stop being idle. And exams are coming up. We want to just get focused. Be focused in a generation. We want to be leaders, especially the men. We always want to pick out on the men, all the murders. If we can look at Nassau, especially today, you see almost over 100 murders, so we want to just stop that. We want to bring a cease to these stuff. And so me as a man, I want to just step out and be a leader.
Just follow your dreams and just pray to God and let them ask for wisdom, knowledge and understanding like I do every day. And just follow your dreams.
It's Alia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Representatives of the United States Embassy educating residents on the process of getting non-immigrant U.S. visas. Vice Consul of the Embassy, Wilson Carl, says so far the embassy have visited a number of the family islands, sharing the 6 major steps to attaining a visa while answering many concerns.
Well, people talked about not qualifying for a visa or getting refused a visa, and totally understand that. And I tried to explain that it's about their ties to here and then not having really strong ties to the U.S. So if someone spent a long time in the U.S., then it's harder to qualify for a visa. But look, 99% of Bahamians with visas travel well and go for short trips, go shopping, go to Miami and come home, and that's why this relationship is so important, and that we're so glad to be able to have such extensive travel between the two countries.
Clinical psychologist Dr. Pamela Mills says this initiative from the United States Embassy is very important.
This information, in my opinion, was quite important. Realizing that Freeport is the second city, and wanted to travel here. They're going to travel to the other family islands as well. And in coming here, he was able to answer questions and dispel a lot of the myths that people have about visas and acquiring visas, particularly student visas and canceled visas. So I think the participants today found this quite important because the information is quite relevant to what people need to know.
Now, Carl says this season is a slow period for the United States Embassy with low wait times. He says now is the time for persons to apply for their visas. And remember to check out the West Grand Bahama District and the 8 Mile Rock Boxing Day Committee's Junkanoo Rush Out at Sunset Village in 8 Mile Rock, December 25th and 26th. That's Ricardo Liborn has a check on sports when we return.
It's Monday, everybody. I'm Ricardo Lightborn, and it's sports time tonight. Dedicating this one to my good friend Stacy within Hurricane Lounge. Yep, let me tell you where the fish died. The Ravens picked their eyeballs out, and she can't see tonight, so that's a good one. Okay, Bahama Softball Federation National Champions were in Abaco. As far as the awards presentation, they got the championship ring. The Bulldogs, what happened to mine? They are the 2 defending champions. The banner says it all. Abaco Imaging Bulldogs are the 2013-14 men's softball champions. The championship ceremony held on the weekend in Abaco. The Bulldogs put the cake and the look of a champion. BSF championship rings on display and earned between the lines. Darren was the first to receive his championship ring. First Vice President Ted Miller and Secretary Daphne McKinney doing the honors. For team manager ACO McDonald, winning back-to-back titles was a team effort.
Going back to 2013, we went to Nassau. We knew we had the team to do it, and we knew long as we play our ball, everybody stays healthy, we could do it. And we left out of there with Lyle doing a miraculous pitching and the team playing good ball behind him, we come out with a victory. And going back this year, we strengthened up. We had, we picked up 3 more players, NJ, Dwayne, and Tristan. We went back down there. We really played better ball. Winning 8-0 in the final game in 5 innings against a top pitcher in the Bahamas. I think proud of our guys, and we did well.
Pitching ace Lyle Big Boy Sawyer got his ring and was all smiles, and also says he's ready for another run.
Well, last year, I worked pretty hard for last year. I had to pitch 14 innings straight, and then got our rings tonight for that. And then this year, 2014, wasn't so hard, but it was still a big fight going up against Alcott Forbes, the best pitcher in the Bahamas.
A time for celebration for the Bulldogs, and the plans is to spread it nationwide and look at a 3rd title.
Our team, the main strategy is to stay together, and our team is together. No players going nowhere. Everybody's happy of being a champion, and we're going to stay together. We're going to continue working hard. We're going to give it all we got. We know everybody's in the Bahamas is out there for us, but we could give it all we got, and we could try to make it 3 straight.
Now, the Bahamas Softball Federation also taking a pretty good look at itself. You see, the presentation of the championship rings in Abaco to the imaging Bulldogs was a springboard to what has actually to be done in softball to get it back to that competitive level that it once held. First Vice President of the Bahamas Softball Federation, Ted Miller, says that's the approach that has to actually start rather than later, now.
There is a lot to be done with softball in the country. Whilst we are having fun locally and good competition too locally, we've been failing internationally. Our play, or that's the whole program, is not up to speed internationally, because in all the last international championships that we attend, I can't say that I'm happy with the results.
Now, the hope to garner the wealth of talent as far as youth players in the country is very, very important. You see, what they're trying to do is also find some money to make sure that they can play the game locally and internationally.
It's like everything. The base have to strengthen. So we got to start getting the younger players more fundamental. The coaching have to come up to par. Well, we have coaches, but they just need to be in the right places. And the program, the overall program needs a step up. And there's 1 or 2 things we need to step it up, and one of them is money.
And the BSF needs some help. Well, the high school Churchill General Knowles Softball Jamboree was held on Saturday. GB Sports Complex, BMA's Warriors won the junior girls title, defeating Sister Mary Patricia Russell. Get the score, 7-5. Quenisha Marshall receiving the MVP honor, and the Jackie Wildcats senior boys, they beat St. George's 14-4. Alonzo Knowles, the MVP as far as the junior boys and senior girls. Let's go see how they did. The Bishop Michael Ellen Warriors and Jack Hayward Junior Wildcats faced off in the junior boys finals. The Warriors took what the defense gave. This blue base hit to right field is a prime example. The junior Wildcats down 4-1 to the Warriors and need some runs. The leadoff batter had the right idea. It will drop in. The Warriors pitcher, he simply then stepped on the gas and struck out the next batter. Next batter in the box. Could it be back-to-back Ks? Hey, well, you betcha. Well, with 2 out and needing 1, it's called putting the hammer down, and that's your ball game. The Warriors win the junior boys crown. 4-1 is the score. The junior Wildcats and the Warriors played a tough game down the stretch. Patron Churchill Tender Knowles presenting the gold medals to the junior Warriors. The silver medals goes to the junior Wildcats of Jack Hayward, and they are no slouch at that. Congrats to Jack Hayward Junior High School, the runners-up, and the coaches and players. You did a great job. As for the championship, the trophy goes to the BMAS Warriors, and the MVP, that is Devontae Dean. The Senior Girls Championship featured the Tabernacle Falcons and Jack Hayward Lady Wildcats. Well, this one was a control issue. The Lady Wildcats gets the break, and also they'll get the strikeout. The Tabernacle Falcons won the title 12-1, and Tonya Cooper was tied with the MVP. There were some scary moments, but she would be okay. And just a reminder, folks, that True Bahamian Culture Experience for the Regency Theater, December 13th. The lead is going to be backed by the inaugural Boys and Me. and the Bushwhackers junk canoe. Okay, no, the Bushwhackers won't be there, but there will be some junk canoe. Stephen Arden will be there also. It's going to be a fun event. I don't know why they don't want the Bushwhackers. That's a look at sports tonight.